Have you ever wondered exactly how much of your stuff belongs to someone who doesn't exist anymore? Calgary's experiencing a heat wave right now, so I thought it'd be a great day to come clean up and clean out my climate-controlled storage locker. The goal is to try and condense as much of this down into just one shelf right there, and take this one apart and replace it with a wardrobe. Most of my life, I've been a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. But the last few years, started when I was in the townhouse, I've been liking shirts, button-downs, nice button-downs. Problem is, they require a closet. I don't have a closet in the van. I really don't. So I have to put a wardrobe in here, but that means either getting a bigger storage locker, which I don't want, or condensing this down. I don't know if this is feasible or not, but I found this vest at Value Village for, what did I pay? I think $8 for it. It's not real leather, but I like it, and I'm keeping it. I wore it once. I wore it to Stampede, actually. It's looking cleaner already. So talking about things that still serve us. The other footage from across the hall there pointing into the thing was taken on this phone, okay? This is an LG Velvet. To the best of my knowledge, the only phone that LG has ever produced. And they only produced it for a year or two, and it's garbage, and being the fool that I am, I bought the garbage. When I went to trade it in, when I went to my provider and said, hey, I need a better phone, what'll you give me for this bad boy? They said, now bear in mind, I paid almost $800 brand new for this. They said, 40 bucks. I was not impressed, but it is proving itself worthwhile. It's not a brilliant camera on here, but it's good enough that I've been using it to film so I can get multi-angle shots. So even though it's a terrible phone, it is an adequate camera. It's one of the things I choose to keep because it still serves me and will continue to serve me in the future. You know, the rule of thumb typically when you're minimizing or trying to minimize something is you ask yourself the question, is this still useful to me? Does it still serve a purpose in my life? And I think the danger there is to define purpose as a material thing. You know, can I use this thing to do that thing? If not, then no, we get rid of it. I think there are exceptions to that rule, though. Purpose does not have to be a material thing. This is the first guitar I ever bought, okay? Named Bob. We'll get into that some other time, but this is the first guitar I ever bought. And I bought Bob when I was 48, 49 years old. It's been over 10 years, still can't play. He's probably out of tune, but, oh, actually not bad. That's don't get excited. I know a handful of chords. I know no songs. And really, in functional minimalist terms, this is a waste of time. I can't even play a campfire song, but it serves me. Bob serves me. He serves me here. Makes me happy, even though I can't really play. The trap of minimalism is getting caught up in the idea of minimalism, being a minimalist. Less is more. Well, I don't know about that. Sometimes less is less, you know? Bob and his companion back here, this is an electric guitar hiding in here, they serve me here. Even though they have no real material use, I'm never going to make any money. I don't think I qualify as an entertainer. I'm just not that good. I don't care. These guys are staying. I love my guitars so much, in fact, that I tried, you have no idea what I tried, to get Bob into the minivan. Not going to happen. So what I wound up doing instead was buying Martin. Martin is a travel guitar. He's very small. He fits in the minivan. Did I mention Martin's very, very small? My fingers barely fit on these chords. He also doesn't hold tune, or maybe I'm in the, nope, that was me. I don't like Martin. I don't. Nothing against Martin. He's just small. I don't like the sound. I like Bob's sound. So, Martin does not make me happy. Not here, not in my hands. Martin is getting sold. I don't know. I sometimes wonder about Martin's previous owner because it smells nice. It smells kind of like rosewood incense. So I envision this young man, a very artistic and creative type, with his incense burning, composing a terrible song on Martin for his latest love of his life. Probably not, but hey. When I first got on YouTube, many, many, many years ago, I had the thought that I would make a mountain biking channel. Now, my cycling history, when I was a much younger man, I was a road cyclist. My idea of going on holiday was to jump on my, this tells you how old it is, 10-speed road bike, because there was no such thing as a mountain bike at that time, and to go for 3, 4, 5-day bike rides. You know, at the time I lived in Victoria. It wasn't uncommon for me to jump on the ferry, go to Port Angeles, and do a cycle tour through the Pacific Northwest, Washington State. This is a helmet, not from that old, because they do have a lifespan, but this is a road helmet. I've since switched. I've traded the roads for the trails. This is just straight up sentimentality. I don't think it fits. Is my head getting fat? Oh no! My head's getting fat. What the heck? Oh, no. So, yeah, you can see me. Yeah, climbing that hill. Ooh, that was fun. That was good. Okay. This is my Positive Grid Spark 40 amp. 40 watts in a small box. And it has surprisingly good sound for what is essentially a practice amp. There's a part of me that really doesn't want to get rid of it. Really, really, really doesn't. It sounds good. It's not as good as a tube amp, but it sounds good. Let's get that strap back on. The problem with this thing, I tried hooking it up to the EcoFlow. See if I could run it while I was out at a campground. And it worked, but the signal noise coming from the EcoFlow into the amp, it sounded horrible. It was unusable. Honestly, I don't know what to do with it. No. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to buy a battery-powered one that is much smaller and won't blow the windows out of the van, because 40 watts is enough to, that's too much sound for that teeny little space, even after I get a bigger van. So my dad got this in Germany, Oktoberfest, at the Canadian Officers Club. He was military. The year I was born, I was 4 months old. I'm going to take a notebook here for my YouTube stuff. I like to handwrite stuff down. Being old school, this is one thing I keep, and is going to stay moving forward with me is if I type something on my phone or in a computer, I type it and it leaves my brain almost forever. It takes a real struggle it is a real struggle to recall it. If I write it down, even in short form, I tend to remember it. It tends to lodge itself in my brain. So this is one of those habits that still serves present me and future me. So I'm going to keep that one. Okay, these are keep. Don't know where I'm going to put them, but they're keep. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is a good one. This was my grandfather's book. Shop Notes, Popular Mechanics Shop Notes for 1905, the year he was born. There's some really cool stuff in here. That's just brilliant. I'd forgotten I had this. This is one of my most prized heirlooms right here. That's fantastic. This is the camera I used when I was a private investigator. I'm watching you. This is harder than I thought. I actually think I might be able to do what I wanted to do, to condense from 2 shelving units down to 1. Oh, if I can do that, oh my golly. So there we go. I've got one more book for you. This is the Mechanics Pocket Memoranda. And you can see there, you open it up, there is no table of contents, there's no publication information. I don't know when it was published, but this is a really old book. Just go straight into the good stuff. Units of weights and measures and things like this. This book belonged to a man that I never met. This was my great-grandfather's book. And everything in here, you have everything in here you need to build a steam railroad. Right from laying it out, surveying it, building it, and building the steam engines and how to run them. This was a mechanics reference. It's been a week since I filmed the rest of the video, and I've been struggling on how to end it. And it occurred to me the other day, I know why I'm having an issue. I started this video by asking how much of this stuff belonged to a man that doesn't exist anymore. It's a stupid question. This is a practical reference. This book, my grandfather helped to build, my great-grandfather, pardon me, helped to build the first railroad that stretched from ocean to ocean across Canada, and this book lived in his pocket. Both of these books belong to men that have not existed for decades, and yet try and take them from me, really. Just, this is not a conversation we want to have. I spent the bulk of the video not asking, does this still belong to a man who exists? No. I spent the bulk of the video asking, is this still useful to me? Does it still serve me? And service can be a vacuum cleaner, sure, it can be utilitarian, but it can also be service to our spirit, our hearts, our memories. Service is a very big question, and it's one that has a much more practical application, I think. Does this stuff belong to a man who doesn't exist anymore? The answer is yes, no, maybe. Changes from moment to moment. Stupid question. This stuff belongs to a man who has a need, who has a relationship with the objects, whether it's utilitarian, whether it's, more mental, spiritual, it doesn't matter. It has a use to me, and that is the service, the relationship I have with everything around me. I don't have an answer to the question. I don't. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.